On last Friday, the Iranian people once again rose to denounce the religious dictatorship in Iran. In these remarks at the Friday prayers, Rafsanjani tried to minimize the extent of the regime's crisis. Rafsanjani was forced to make an important confession. He acknowledged that the mullahs regime is facing a crisis. Religious leaders have turned against the regime. This is a bitter time for the regime, and that all factions of the regime have been harmed. He did not challenge the result of the sham elections. However, he criticized the trend of the elections and the Guardian Council. He only asked for the release of prisoners and expressed sympathy with the grieved families. His remarks were interrupted by people chanting, "Down with dictator." In response to Rafsanjani, 3 days later, Khamenei said, "The elite should be cautioned. They are facing a major test. If they do not succeed in this test, it will not be just a failure, but will cause their downfall." Indeed, this week's Friday prayers reflected the regime's deadlock. The regime can neither go forward nor take a step back. This situation will give further dynamism to the Iranian people's uprising. On Friday, the people of Tehran, in particular women and the youth, turned the Friday prayers into a confrontation with the ruling religious fascism. Khamenei had deployed his suppressive forces to prevent another uprising, but millions of people in Tehran went to the streets and chanted, "Down with the dictator," and Khamenei is a murderer, his rule is nullified. To further spread the protests, courageous women of Iran broke the religious laws fabricated by the mullahs regime and were appeared in the forefront of the 26th July. I salute them all. The uprising of 17 July proved two facts. First, the uprising cannot be stopped. Second, Khamenei has failed to overcome the rift within the regime. Khamenei is turning to killing and torture ever more to confront the people's uprising. So far, more than 300 people have been killed in the uprising and more than 10,000 arrested. I call on the United Nations Security Council and all the countries of the world to condemn the brutal suppression of the Iranian people. I call on them to suspend diplomatic and commercial ties with the Iranian regime until the absolute end of suppression and the regime's submission to a free election under the supervision of the United Nations.